हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्य वस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं शर्षणीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णो परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ क्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Everybody repeat Hare Ram Krishna Chaitanya. Om Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Rama Krishna. Okay, so where are we now? In third house, right? About to start the third house. So chapter 24 in Santanam Sudarshan, and the verse is verse 25. Lagnage sahajadhishe svabhujajyata vittavan sevagnah sahasi jato vidyahino vibuddhiman. Lagnage sahajadhishe means having gone into the lagna. Lagnage means having gone. Sahajadhishe means the third lord. Lagnage having gone into the lagna. So if the third lord is in lagna, svabhujajyata vittavan. Svabhuja, swa means own, bhuja means shoulders or basically own hands. Ajyata means earned, vitta means money. Van means one who possesses. So one who has earned money by himself or herself. So basically a self-made person. That's what it means. Sevagnah. Sevagnah means Seva means service, working, work, etc. Gna means one who knows. So Sevagna means one who knows how to serve. So one who, literally, it doesn't, you shouldn't take it literally. It doesn't mean one who only knows theoretically. You can write an essay on how to serve, but basically what it means is one who serves. A serving attitude, one who has an attitude to serve. So such a person. Sahasi means brave. Jato, a person born in their combination. Vidyahino hi buddhiman. Vidyahinaha means not having knowledge, deprived of learning, not learned, but buddhiman, intelligent. He is intelligent and wise despite not having excellent education. Okay. Now let us see each of them. First, Svabhujajyata vittavan, one who is self-made. Why should that be self-made? Why if the lagna lord is in the, if the third lord is in the lagna, why should the person be self-made person? Right? Yeah. So work hard basically. Use the body basically to, because the planets, the houses they own are their agenda, what they want to do, and houses they occupy is the resources they have access to. So if somebody is in the seventh house stands for interacting with people. So the planet will use the interactions to advance its agenda. Similarly, every house. Lagna is your body, your very existence. So that's used as a resource to fulfill the drive and initiative, etc. in the person. So it shows somebody who is basically working hard, who's basically showing a lot of energy and using the body basically to pursue various things, to be enterprising. But why should it be somebody who didn't get money from father, for example? I mean, why can't it be somebody who inherited a lot of money and worked hard and grew it? Why should it be self-made person? Right, good, go ahead. So, taking the second house of family as Lagna, what is this combination now? It's not third lord in Lagna anymore. It is second lord in 12th house, right? If the second lord is in 12th house, is it good for having lot of money, etc.? We saw earlier in the second house results for the native. If the second lord is in 12th house, it doesn't show lot of money accumulated, wealth. It shows a normal person whose money basically whatever comes just goes. So family is like that. Taking second house as Lagna, that is what it is. So the family into which one is born is like that. It is not really very well off. In which case, he has to basically, if he is somebody very enterprising, whatever he amasses, whatever wealth he accumulates, is his own wealth. Now, Sevagnaha, one who knows how to serve. Why? Okay. What are the services house? Yeah.
This seva is not related to
No, not necessarily. Yeah. 12th house is basically the ability to give something to other people. So this third lord who basically shows the initiative of the person, this basically is becoming the resource for serving other people. He has Argala basically. Planet in Lagna has Argala on the 12th house and also on the 10th house and also on the 9th house. So there is Argala on the 9th house of Dharma, religion and Dharma, the 10th house of Karma, actions in the society, and 12th house of giving to others. So because he has influence on all those, the initiative of the person will be used in all these areas. It will impact all these areas. The person will be very bold and he will decide, okay, let's get this done, let's do this, let's do that, and he will be doing those things. So that way he is basically somebody who understands how to serve people and who is interested in serving people, interested in doing lot of things. Sahasi means brave. He is brave, of course, third basically shows bravery. And if the planet is in Lagna and having Argala on the third house, it fortifies the third house and it brings the third house results into the Lagna, into the basic personality of the person. So he is a very brave and bold person. He will become clear to everybody. Jato vidyahino ki buddhiman. Why should he be intelligent? He should be intelligent. He is intelligent even though he has no knowledge. First, why no knowledge? Yeah, from the 4th house of learning, he is the 12th lord. From the 4th house of learning, he is the 12th lord, and he is in Lagna, affecting the basic nature of the person. The basic nature of the person is from the 1st house, the basic personality. Because the planet who wants to give lots of education is there, he may not be a very learned person. But why is he basically intelligent? He is Buddhiman means somebody who is smart and intelligent. Right. So he is actually absolutely very good. Go ahead. So he is a good communicator, right? So he may not be very learned, but the thing is, some people who are very learned, they may not be able to communicate their ideas well. Some people they may not have much education, but they understand their awareness of things, awareness of how people think, awareness of how people understand things is very high, so they can actually communicate. So here Buddhiman doesn't necessarily mean Even though it's translated as intelligent by Santanam also, and I also translated it as intelligent for lack of better word, but buddhi has so many different shades of meaning. So I reckon that this is not intelligent in the sense of a great scholar, somebody who can master everything. He is saying, despite being unlearned, so obviously it's a different kind of buddhi he is talking about. So somebody who is basically smart and who is wise, who is worldly wise, who understands how to get things done. So that is the context in which you should understand the word good smart. Yeah, street smart and in general smart. In general, not only street smart, in general smart and smart in dealing with people basically. Because it's the third lord and he's accessing seventh house of interaction with people. So he knows how to deal with people. You basically put the nail on the thing. And you said third lord, communication. Now, the next verse, 26. द्वितीये सहजाधीशे स्थूलो विक्रमवज्यतः स्वल्पारम्भी सुखी न स्यात् परस्त्रीधनकामुकः. द्वितीये सहजाधीशे. If the third lord is in the second house now, स्थूलो विक्रमवज्यतः. स्थूलो means one who is fat. विक्रमवज्यतः. Not Vajjita means left by, divide off. So he does not have any bravery. He is actually a coward. He is not a brave person. Swalparambhi means he doesn't start too much. He doesn't start things that well. He is basically lazy to start things. He is not somebody enterprising. Sukhi nasyat. He is not basically comfortable. He has no happiness and peace. Yes, no sukha. Parastri dhana kamukaha. He desires, para means other people, Sri means ladies, woman, wife, dhana means money. So he desires the money and the wives of other people. So this is a pretty bad combination. Now let us see. If the third lord is in the second house, why should he be fat? Food. Yeah. He's somebody. He's basically, second house is the house of sustenance and food, etc. So third lord basically has a lot of energy. So that energy is going into second house. So he is basically feeding himself so well. So he becomes fat. So that's a very simple common sense interpretation. But of course, you have to take with a pinch of salt always. What if the planet is Saturn? There are so many things. But the bottom line is in general. A planet who shows aggression is in a specific house, all the aggression may be limited to that house. If he is otherwise bad. Now, Swalparambhi, he doesn't have much initiative, right? Her Lord is in 12th from 3rd. The Lord of any house, if he is in the 12th house from that house, it basically makes that house weak. Sukhi na syat. He is not happy. Why? No happiness. Comfort, happiness is from 4th house. Now what about 4th house? What is the influence here? Here's Argala. Argala from 3rd lord. Argala from the planet whose agenda is to give a loss of a particular thing. If he has an intervention in that particular thing, what will he cause? He will cause loss of it. Whereas if a planet basically who's conducive to the house, if he has Argala, he will promote that house. If a planet who wants to destroy a house, who wants to either destroy a house or cause loss of that house, if he is capable of intervening in the matters of that house, he will say, okay, throw it away. So, that is not really surprising. Sri Nasya, Parasri Dhanakamuka. He wants the wife and wealth of other people. Why? third house is the house of initiative, first of all. It is the house of wanting things. What is initiative? It is the seed of desire. Initiative is the unmanifested desire, basically, unformed desire, not fully formed desire. And the initiative becomes desire, third house becomes seventh house, and then finally it becomes fructification of desire, 11th house, gain. So these are the Kama Trikona. So this is the seed of the Kama, seed of the desire, right? Now, depending on where the planet is, that kind of desire can be given. So he is in the second house. What does second house stand for? Second house stands for money. So the bottom line is he wants money. He may not have a lot of initiative to actually do things to generate money, but whatever initiative he has, it is not directed towards doing some work. For example, if you take the sixth house of overcoming obstacles, this planet in the second house is basically having Viparit Arkada. He doesn't have any Agula on it, but Viparit Arkada. Like that, basically this planet is not, and also from the third house itself, he is in the 12th house of killing it. So this planet is not conducive to increasing the energy of the person. He is not energetic, but whatever little energy the planet is carrying is towards the house that the planet occupies, which is second house. So he wants money. Second house is wanting money. And what about other people's wives? Why should he desire? By the way, I haven't given logic to say why other people's wealth. I only said he wants wealth. This person wants wealth, but he is not interested in much effort. He is not interested in taking initiative and doing things. But he has a desire to have wealth. So such people tend to go after other people's money or easy money basically. They want things to be easy. Now why other people's wives? Why should he want other people's wives? I mean, or forget other people. Why is there a chance of adultery? First of all, is it conducive? Sorry?
If you take a third house as a Lagna, then
Yeah.
Lagna Lord is in third
Okay.
house is also the bed.
That is right.
So he's more interested in
Excellent. So taking third house as Lagna to see what kind of desires one has. To see what kind of desires one has. Right? To do that, the third lord is in the 12th house. So he has a desire relating to 12th house matters. And what are the 12th house has so many meanings. Out of them, which meaning is conducive to desire? One meaning is pleasure impact. So he is interested basically. He is interested in pleasure impact. Again, we haven't given logic to say he goes after other people's wives. We haven't given logic to show other people's wives and other people's wealth, but we know that he will be interested in physical pleasure. He will be interested in pleasures in bed, and also he will be interested in a lot of wealth, but he has no initiative to start anything, start any effort. He has no effort and no initiative. Still he wants those. So such people will go after easy targets, like other people's money, other people's wives. The next verse is verse 27. Sahaje sahajadhishe sahodara sukhanvitah dhanaputra juto hrusto bhunakti sukhamadbhutam. Sahaje sahajadhishe. If the third lord is in the third house, sahodara sukhanvitah. He has comfort from siblings. Lot of siblings are there. Dhanaputra juto hrusto. He has children. He has wealth. Hrusto means hrush. The word the root hrush is the root of harsha also. Harsha comes from hrush, and hrushta also comes from the same word. So it is basically, it has to do with, it is the same root. So it is basically being happy, pleasant, cheerful, that kind of thing. So he is very relaxed and happy. He is in a good mood basically. Bhunakti sukham adbhutam. Bhunakti means he enjoys sukham adbhutam. He enjoys great comfort. So he has excellent comfort. He is always cheerful, and he has wealth and children, and he has siblings. He is lucky with siblings. Now why? Well, first result is easy. Third lord in the third house. Third house is the house of siblings. So siblings are fortified. So he will have siblings, lot of siblings. That is not surprising. Then the second result, Dhanaputra Jito. Dhana, why does he have wealth? Why does he have health, wealth? Right? He has Argala on the second house. He is the second lord from the second house, and he is having Argala on the second house, and he is a planet of one of the Uphreyas. 3, 6, 10 and 11 are Uphreyas, which stand for accumulation. So those are good for accumulating anything. So lord of one Uphreya having an Argala on the second house of wealth. So he has the spirit of accumulating, and the planet has an influence on the money, on the house of wealth. So he will accumulate lot of wealth. Now why Putra Jito? Why does he have lot of children? Why is he lucky with children? Why does he have children? Taking the fifth house of children as Lagna, 11th lord 11 gains. 11th is the final fulfillment of anything. So whatever desires he has with respect to children are fulfilled. So he not only has good children, enough children, they also transfer well. Because this planet is in the 11th house from that, 7th lord in the 11th. So children prosper, there is good money accumulated, because he has that killer instinct and he knows how to accumulate, and that drive is directed towards wealth also, second house also. So he accumulates a lot of money. Prushto, why is he cheerful? Okay? It is a good yoga. So he is basically favorable for the fourth house, for the Sukha. Right? He is favorable for the fourth house. What else? Anything else? If you take the fifth house of emotional stability, because for emotions, apart from fourth house Sukha, for emotional stability, fifth house is very important. If you take this planet, it has Argala on the fifth house. So apart from children, fifth house is also emotions, judgment, those things. So his emotional stability is quite good, because 11th lord is in the 11th house from that house. So this planet is not only well placed with respect to fourth house, but fifth house is very good. So he has emotional clarity. Emotionally he is very stable. Even though he has a lot of initiative and he is doing things all the time, he has no emotional baggage basically. Any emotional baggage is seen from the fifth house, because fifth house is the center of your emotion. So somebody who has no emotional baggage is likely to be cheerful and positive. So this is basically a very positive combination. Bhunakti sukham adbhutam. He enjoys great sukha, which we have already covered. Okay. The next line, the next verse, verse 28. Sukhasthe sahajadhishe sukhi chadhana samyutah matiman jayate balo dushta bharjapatischa sah. Sukhasthe sahajadhishe. If the third lord is in the fourth house, Sukhi cha dhana samyutah. Sukhi means he has happiness, he has comfort. Dhana samyutah, he has wealth. Matiman jayato balo. He is basically an intelligent person. Dushta bharya vadishtasaha. And he has a bad wife, a cruel or evil kind of. Okay, this is a gugli. Now why? Let's go through each of them. If the third lord is in the fourth house, why does he have comfort? His initiative and drive are directed towards comfort. So such a person will accumulate lot of comfort. He will get the latest TV, latest fridge, latest car, latest everything. So that way, when I say he is comfort, he is sukhi, here the word sukhi should be interpreted in the context of accumulating various comforts. He may or may not be fully happy because from the 4th house, 12th lord is in the lagna. It is not really a great combination. So he may or may not be able to enjoy a lot, but he will accumulate lot of enjoyment. Yes, he will spend lot of money on comfort. Exactly. So he will spend a lot on comfort. That is what, and he will accumulate lot of comfort. That is all we can say. Sukasya Sahajadisya Sukhi is a Dhanasamyutaha. He is wealthy. He has money. Why does he have money? Yes, you can say he accumulates properties also, but that's not really money. He is saying Dhanasamyutaha. Or do you think that he is actually by Dhana, here he means land, not really wealth? Well, taking the second house of wealth as Lagna. Okay, if you want to see what is the wealth of the person, take the second house as Lagna. Where is this planet? It is in an Upajaya. It is in the third house. And third house, third, sixth, 10th and 11th are Upajaya. Upajaya means accumulation. So planets in Upajaya are conducive to accumulating, growing basically. They are the growth agents. So because this planet is in the third house from second house, the planet wants to, the planet has the chance of letting him accumulate more money. But whether it does or not depends on so many other things. But the thing is, he is basically in an Upajaya from the second house. So here, even though the word used by Parashara is Dhana Samyutaha, this basically means somebody who has the potential to accumulate wealth. Bharya, no. Matiman Jayade Balo. Matiman. Why is he intelligent? Well, again, Swami? Okay. So he may have decent education. Moreover, the intelligence of the person is seen from Lagna and the 5th house. So he is intelligence from the point of view of having the right judgment, scholarship, etc. And Lagna is the basic very essence of the person, the basic common sense of the person. So here, the planet has Agla and Lagna. The third lord, who shows the communication skills, the initiative, the drive, who controls all the desires of the person, the planet has Agla and Lagna. So he influences the basic nature of the person. The basic nature of the person is such that he wants to get things done. So basically he is somebody who knows how to get things done. He is basically intelligent in that way. So Matiman, I will interpret here as somebody who knows how to get things done. He is not necessarily a great scholar because from the 5th house, the planet is in the 12th house. 11th lord in 12th is not really a great combination for being extremely intelligent and sharp and knowledgeable, scholarly, etc. This is not that much. By Matiman, he doesn't mean all that. He only means a smart guy, somebody who knows how to get things done. Well, they are all basically synonyms, but the thing is, literally Mati means mind. So one who has mind, basically who has a presence of mind. You can interpret in many ways. The thing is, once you translate into a different language, the meaning will change. If I put it in English, the meaning is not the same. If I put it in Telugu also or Hindi also, the meaning is not really the same. The same word, Mati or Buddhi, may be used in a different context at a different time. Basically, in the last 200 years, suppose one word took on a particular meaning more strongly because one popular literary work used in that context. and everybody now uses only in that context. You won't even know what the original meaning is. So the thing is, to understand this perfectly, you have to think in this language. This has to be part of your common sense, and you should be thinking in this language. Otherwise, there's no way I can actually explain it to you. Anybody can explain it to you. Anyway, the bottom line is mati. Mati literally means mind, one who has mind. But the thing is, mind has so many layers. So the word buddhi, mati, there are different layers of the mind. But bottom line is mentally alert. That is one way to translate it. Better than saying intelligent, which is very generic word. Is basically he has an alert mind. Has a very who has a good presence of mind. So all those things are coming from third lord having argala, lagna, and influencing the nature of the person. The very basic essence of the person. Matiman jayato balo dusta bharya patishthakaha. So he is the husband of an evil wife, or of a cruel or a bad wife. He translates as wicked spouse. That is also reasonable. His wife is a dusta person, is a bad person. Why? What did the poor wife do? Pardon me? Yeah, if you take the 7th house as Lagna, 9th house in 10th house, why is she wicked then? Why is she wicked then? A7 you don't know. A3 you know. If you want Arudhas, take A3. That is in 5th house. So, what does it mean? Anybody wants to say anything? Shall we vote to say that there is some corruption here? How many of you think there is some corruption here? Third lord in 4th is not necessarily a Krishna Bharya. How many of you think so? No, I know nobody knows, but would you guess that? Does it make any sense at all to you? Third lord in 4th house making the wife bad. Any sense in this to you? Not really, not even to me. I mean, let's be honest. When something makes some sense from some angle, let's say, okay, go and stand in that corner, then you can see this object in this way. But there is no angle from which one particular object really reasonably seems like something. There is no need to pretend. Let's say it doesn't make sense to us, and then move on. Maybe we are missing something, in which case it will become clear later, or maybe there is a corruption, because this text is not really free from corruption. So this doesn't make any sense to me. This is right. Why not? Some words can be wrong. One particular, not even a stanza, a particular combination of words there may have been changed by somebody for some reason. I mean, hopefully not to prove somebody to be bad, but I mean, why corruptions happen is a totally different topic, but corruptions do happen. But let's not say it's corruption, but we don't understand. It could be a corruption. On that note, let's move on. The next verse, verse 29. Sutasthe sahajadhishe putravan gunasamyutah bharyadasya bhavet krura grahayute ekshite. Sutasthe sahajadhishe. Sutasthe sahajadhishe means if the if the third lord is in Sutastha, means is in the Sutasthana, which is 5th house. So if the third lord is in the 5th house, Putravan Gunasamyutaha. Putravan Gunasamyutaha. He has children and he has Gunasamyutaha. He has good qualities. He is a very noble person. He is virtuous. Bharyadasya bhavet krura. Krura grahayute ekshite. Bharyadasya bhavet krura. His wife becomes cruel. Krura grahayute ekshite. When that particular planet, who is the third lord in the 5th house, when that planet is with its cruel planet, that means malefic planet, natural malefic planet, or aspected by natural malefic planet, then wife can be cruel. Okay? Does this make sense? Does this make sense? Oh, actually not. Let's not directly jump to cruel wife, because we have a problem with another cruel wife word. Let us go one by one. Kutasya Sajajisya Putran Gunasamita. He has children. Does it make sense? Third lord in fifth house. Well, from the fifth house of children, the 11th lord of gains is in Lagna. So, he is gainfully, he has children gainfully. He has gained a lot of children. He gained with respect to children. So that is not surprising. What is the other one? Guna Samjitaha. He is a noble person. He has good qualities, good abilities and good... Third lord in fifth. 11th lord in Lagna. Why would that mean he has good qualities? Well, fifth house is the house of abilities. The house of abilities is fortified, so he is a very capable person. But why good qualities? Which house shows good qualities? Like virtuosity, nobility, 9th house. So from 9th house of dharma of the person, the planet is in 9 and he is the 7th lord, a quadrant lord in a trine. So that is good. So the person being virtuous is meaningful. Now bharjatasya bhavet kura kruragraha yutekshite. If this planet has influence of negative planet, krura planet, evil planet, then the wife will be evil. Not evil, but sorry, cruel. Evil is a very bad, very strong word. Cruel word. Does it make sense now, or should we vote this also out? It makes sense, right? Yeah? 9th lord of dharma is affected by male sex. Right. So, and also he has Argala in the 7th house itself. He is not only 9th lord of dharma, he is having Argala and Lagna itself. So, planets in the 5th house decide the nature of the planets in the 5th house decide the nature of 7th house because they have Argala. So, they decide, the planet decides what kind of spouse one has. So, if he is with cruel planet, that influence will be on the wife. So, wife is a cruel person. Yes. If he is with male fixed, otherwise, aspect with male fixed also basically, if the aspect is strong enough, if somebody is looking at you, if I am looking at you, you may not care. You may say, forget it, I'll just do whatever. Suppose you are playing computer games and I am your younger brother or your father or somebody. I told you many times, don't play computer games. And then if I am looking at you, you may not care and you may still play, or you may say, oh, he is looking at me. And then you may move on and take your textbook and start reading the textbook, like my children may sometimes do. So the thing is, whether the aspect has an impact on you or not, it can influence you or not, depends on the dynamics of the aspect. Who's aspecting? Who are you? Who's that guy? What is your relationship? What is his control over you? What is his relationship with your boss, with your dispositor? What is his relationship with the karaka? All these things that we have done long back and forgotten, all that basic analysis, that becomes applicable, right? So, but the thing is, he is giving guidelines. Never say, just because Fifth is aspected by third lord in 50 is aspected by one male fixed planet, don't conclude wife is evil or wife is cruel. Don't tell him your wife is cruel. That is, I mean, for all you know, if the cruel wife finds out about this, you will be in trouble. But the bottom line is, you are absolutely right. Being with a planet is one thing, and being aspected by is another thing. The influence is lower there, but still it may be sufficient. So it depends on the case. As a matter of fact, even conjunction may not be sufficient. If the planet is very strong, if the planet in question is very strong, even if Mars or Saturn or somebody exits, still he may hold to his ground. He may not basically spoil the results. So it really depends on the planets, their strength and their agenda, their relationships, so many things. We are just simplifying and giving some thumb rules, and these thumb rules are not meant for using in real charts to give real readings to people and scaring them or raising their hope. These are just meant for learning how to think. Now, having seen this verse, shall we revisit the previous verse and speculate why Parashara may have, assuming there is no typo or no corruption, Dushta Bharja Patishya Kaha. If the third lord in fourth house, it doesn't necessarily mean always having a bad wife, a cruel wife, but in some cases it may. What if the planet has aspect or conjunction of evil planet, cruel planet? Then is it possible? Because the ninth lord is in the 10th house. From the 7th house of Lagna, the 7th house taking as Lagna, ninth lord of Dharma is in the 10th house of Karma. That is all good, but he is afflicted. So the person doesn't have a good sense of Dharma, the person doesn't have a good sense of Karma. The person's Dharma and Karma are afflicted with aggression, or whatever that negative planet show, anger or sadness or something. So it is possible. So it is conceivable that Parasara, this is not a corruption. Parasara gave the result but did not give the modifying condition, but he addressed it in the immediate next verse so that he expected you to go back and say, hey, you know what, this is probably what he meant. In this, if this modifier is attached, that also becomes meaningful, right? Now the next verse. Verse 30. षष्ठभावे तृतीयेशे भ्रातृशत्रु महाधनी. षष्ठभावे तृतीयेशे भ्रातृशत्रुर्महाधनी. मातुलैश्च समं वैरम् मातुलानी प्रियो नरः. षष्ठभावे तृतीयेशे. If the third lord is in the 6th house, भ्रातृशत्रुर्महाधनी. Bhratrushatru means not really quarrel, just enemy. Shatru means enemy. Enemy of sibling, of a sibling. So he has enmity with a sibling. Not even sibling rivalry or something. Shatru is a strong word. It means enmity. So sometimes some siblings become enemies of each other. They start fighting. So he has some enmity with one of the siblings. Mahadhani means very lot of great abundant wealth. Mahadhani. Matulaischa samam vairam. Matulaischa samam vairam means Matulaischa. Also with the Matula means uncle, maternal uncle, mother's sibling. With them, samam vairam means some level of enmity with them also. He doesn't get along well with his uncle, maternal uncle. Matulani priyo naraha. But he is dear to Matulani. Who is Matulani? Maternal uncle's wife. Naturally, if you fight with the husband, wife will like you. Now, let us pass this. Rashabhave Tridiyate. If the third lord is in the 6th house, why is he enemy of siblings? Why is there an enmity with siblings? Well, 6th house is the house of enemies. Third lord is basically shows the sibling, at least one sibling at least. So 6th house, so there is enmity with one sibling, right? Or so also mean, this is one way to interpret. Another possibility is he may have to keep overcoming lot of obstacles related to one sibling. One sibling may be creating lot of obstacles for him. He may have to work hard to overcome those obstacles. That is also a meaningful result. But the thing is, this is one possible result. No. Yeah, that is also possible. One who serves his siblings a lot. Serving meaning in the sense of lot of problems created, lot of obstacles to overcome, and overcomes those obstacles and helps his brother. Somebody who works hard to bring up his brother in life. That is also a possibility. So there are so many possibilities. Parasara couldn't give all the possible results, but he can teach you how to think, and that is what he is doing. Mahadhani, great wealth. Why does he have great wealth? Ukshaya Lord in another Ukshaya, basically he is prone to accumulation and taking the 2nd house as Lagna. This planet is in a trine. The 2nd Lord from 2nd house is in trine from 2nd house. So that is 2nd Lord in 5th or 2nd Lord in 9th from any house is good. So this planet is giving great wealth. And also another thing is practically, materially speaking, 3rd is one house important for material success. 6th is another house important for material success. Like he said over here. One shows initiative, other shows fighting spirit, the ability to fight off. So if there is if the same plant is associated with both of them, there is a confluence between the two desirable aspects for material success. So such a person is likely to be a winner. He not only has initiative, but he doesn't give up in the middle. He is not somebody who will start 100 projects and give up. In each project, if there are obstacles, he will fight to the end. He will fight till the last drop of blood. So such a person is likely to be materially successful. So from that point of view, instead of saying wealthy, to say supremely wealthy is meaningful. That is why Parasha used that word Mahadani. Now, Matulaisya Samam Vairam. Why? Matulaisya Samam Vairam. Why? What does it mean? Which house do you see mother's brother from? Sorry? Sixth house. Sixth house shows, according to Parasha, sixth house shows basically third from fourth. Fourth is mother, third from fourth is mother's brother, mother's younger brother. Actually, younger brothers are also seen from that, but it is from the third house. So, sixth house shows maternal uncles, mother's siblings. So, third lord is there. So, why does it mean, why does it give enmity with them? Third lord is in? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Now, third lord, he basically wants to give you some initiative, drive, etc. That is what he wants to give. So, based on where he is, he will give in that area. If he is in the third house, all the drive and initiative are with respect to children. And you do actually, when you have a good child, for example, when it comes to his education, his business, his career, his marriage, etc., you put a lot of passion and energy into it, and you basically make things happen. So that is a positive. If you have the opportunity to throw a lot of energy into the area of children, you have something to do, because that is an area where you have things to do. Whereas something like mother's siblings, you don't really do anything about them. So if you are actually having to do something regarding them, there is probably some trouble with them. It is not an area where you are actively working on. There are areas that you are actively working on. Suppose fourth house. Fourth house is the house of comfort. So you actively work on getting comfort. You get food, you get TV, you get this, you shop, you find a good model. So there are areas where putting a lot of initiative into that area makes sense, which means that area is being fortified. And there are some areas where if you are having to put a lot of energy into that area, it means there is some trouble in that area. So you are trying to overcome the trouble. Of course, what I said is not foolproof. Even with respect to children, if you are having to put a lot of energy into children, it may be because there is a problem also. But the thing is, it is also possible that things are very, very good. You have 4 or 5 excellent kids, and you have to put a lot of energy into them. There are different possibilities. But definitely, mother siblings is an area where you don't really do anything. They are just there. They may actually give you something, but you don't necessarily go around giving them things and doing things for them. So it's third lord of energy is in that house. You are spending a lot of energy relating to sixth house. So it may show some problem with mother's siblings. It doesn't necessarily prove, but there is a chance. That's the bottom line. Okay. Now Matrani Priyo Naraha. Why is he liked by the Matulani? Well, Matulani is from the 7th house. Sorry? 7th house from the 6th house. So 12th house, right. So taking the 12th house as Lagna, this is simply 4th lord in 7th house. One quadrant lord in another quadrant house. 4th lord gives sukha, happiness, and he is in the 7th house of interaction. So they interact well with you and they are happy with you. So is basically a good, it's a good combination, one quadrant planet and another quadrant planet, especially in the 7th house. 7th house shows, 7th house is the house of interaction. So any planet in the 7th house from any lagna is good for interacting with that business. Now the word Matulani has been translated as maternal aunt here, but this is not necessarily mother's woman sibling. If your mother has a sister, this word maternal aunt here in the translation of Santanam, maternal aunt in English includes mother's siblings also. Here, this maternal aunt, this Matulani, is specifically the spouse of a male sibling of mother. That is why it is the 12th house. Otherwise, it would still be the 6th house. So they like interacting with you. Priya means here they like you. Whether they like you or not, they interact with you a lot. They like interacting with you. That's basically what we can say. So with that, we are done on Parashara for today. We'll continue. We finished how many? 30 verses, I think. Yeah, 2 times 12 plus 6. 30 verses we finished. We'll, can you log me in? Let's see if everything's here. You got it. And we'll see some chat. Yeah. Right. Not only for Aries, for Libra, Aries and Libra. Right. Right. Starting. The thing is, like I said, don't make predictions based on this combination. These are just guidelines. See, right? Very good. Okay. So you guys have any chart, any consensus chart that you want to see? Actually, let's restart. You guys make up your mind and give me the data. Okay. May 9th, 1983, okay. 1348. Srikakulam. Yeah. Okay. So there are 2 Srikakulams. Yeah. So actually, you are in the Srikakulam, the main Srikakulam in the Srikakulam district, right? Yeah. The well-known Srikakulam. Okay. That should be the first one only. Usually more east and more north compared to Bandar. So this must be the right Srikakulam.
Yeah, more east and
More north. Yeah.
8354, 1880.
Yes. Okay, so the chart is, okay, how should I save it? Initials or name or Satish? T-E or T-I? T-H-I-S-S, Satish. Okay. So this is the chart of Satish, 1983 May 9, 1348, 1:48 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT. The place is Srikakulam, 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 India. 83 degrees 54 minutes east, 18 degrees 18 minutes north. Okay. So the Lagna should be Leo, 23rd degree Leo, 22 degree 5 minutes, and Moon should be 11 degrees 43 minutes. Okay. So what do you guys? The Navamsa is very interesting. There is a 5 planet combination. There is a Guru Chandala Yoga, Surya Chandala Yoga, so many yogas. The Navamsa, 5 planets together. Okay. So what area of life? What is the question? What do you want to focus on?
First thing is, I had a discrepancy
So you are not satisfied with Moon Vimshatri?
With the kind of knowledge I have,
Okay, well, that's fine, that's fine. With the kind of knowledge you have only. So you are not fully satisfied that
I am not able,
Chandra Vimshatri Dasha is explaining your life events well.
that is what I
And you want to see if that is, we also agree with you or we take a different view.
Yeah.
Right, good. So for that we need events. So tell us the events.
I came in to US in 2000.
Came to
US in 2001,
came to US in 2001 when?
January,
January, okay.
and but I had to go back in May.
Had to go back.
In May,
Okay,
I was here to do my bachelor's actually. I got a full scholarship from University of Connecticut.
okay. Bachelor's with full scholarship, okay.
At the same point of time, I got bachelor's degree. I joined in Andhra University.
Okay,
So the point is, my education never got discontinued.
okay. So bachelor's with full scholarship, had to go back,
I had to go back and continued with whatever I had back home.
continued in Andhra University, okay. Then any other event?
Got a job.
Yeah,
Got a job in 2003. So the call was given in 2003 December.
okay,
While I was still doing my third year.
okay. So got a job in 2003, okay. What, do you know what area? Actually that is irrelevant for that, okay.
But I am a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical engineer, okay.
But
Okay, but that's answer rectification. That's not really necessary for Dhaka. So you got a job in 2003 December. You've been working since then.
yeah,
Okay.
from 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to leave my job after in 2004 November. I left the job.
Mm-hmm.
I got another job in Infosys in 2005.
Infosys 2000.
2005 January.
Okay.
I left my Infosys job in 2007 September,
Okay.
and since then I've come to US in September 22nd last year. It's September 22nd, 2007.
So came to US this time. Second time
Second time,
came to US in September.
September 22nd.
Okay. And then working in US.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Now let's see. So basically a lot of breaks. The thing is, there aren't too many events actually to structure and structure. There are too many major events, but we'll see. Because some of these events may be more visible from a short-term perspective, like in Pradesh, etc., than in the natal chart. But we'll see. Most of the events are relating to Chaturthamsa and Dashamsa, right? So we will little bit D24 also. So let us see. D24 we are not sure if it's rectified properly, but D4 should be. Or is it on a border? Maybe a little close to border, but we can 22 means actually close to border. 22 and a half is when it changes.
It is
Okay. His grandfather noted the time, and he is noted as 1348. So the thing is, and a minute and 43 seconds later, the Lagna in Chaturthamsa will change. So let us see that, and of course backward it is safe. For the previous half hour it was the same Lagna. So let us use Chaturthamsa Lagna, the given one, and quote from it, because it could be that also. There could be a 2-minute error in the time. Even though it was noted accurately, for example, he may not have breathed at the time, they may have thought he did, but like that there are so many things. Watch may be incorrect.
I made my grandfather to listen to what you were stating.
Yeah.
Based on the birth of the person.
Yeah.
From different yugas, different changing. I mean,
Yeah.
particularly, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how can I say, his commendations were with you.
Okay, good, very good. So the thing is, now from our point of view, basically, it is possible that this is accurate, but let us basically say, well, it could be the fourth summit. Let us see, any of them makes sense. Either of them makes sense with the Vimshottari. So we are going with Vimshottari Dasha. Actually, are there any other Dashas applicable? Lagna is not in Vargottama. Lagna Lord is not in 7th house. 7th Lord is not in Lagna. 10th house doesn't have 10th Lord, and so on. So normally we will use Vimshottari in this chart. And let us see, compare Lagna with Moon. Moon is in the 8th house. Moon is actually weak. Moon is in Manakarka Sthana. So given that Moon is weak, shall we use something else? Utpanna has 2 planets. Utpanna has 4 planets. Janma has 3 planets. Shema has 3. Adhana has 3. Lagna has 4. So Lagna and Utpanna are stronger than Moon, but before we take a leap of faith, let's just say Chandra Vimshottari works and see if it doesn't, if you are not happy. Now, when did he come to US? 2001 January, but you weren't here for too long. Immediately you went back. Okay. 2001 Jan, what Dasha was running? Mercury Dasha was running. 2001 Jan. Mercury Rahu. Okay. So Mercury Rahu and Prachanda Dasha, I am not sure, but let's say Mercury Rahu. Can Mercury Rahu take him abroad? First, based on Rashi. Based on Rashi, Mercury is in the Bhadrasthana. And Rahu, what about Rahu? He is 7th Lord, showing a long journey. So he has the potential to take the person abroad, right? Now, at least he was in US for a while. Basically, he took a long journey, the 7th house. Now, if you take the Chaturthamsa chart as is, basically Aquarius Lagna, doesn't make any sense. Mercury and Rahu. Mercury is in the 12th house of being in a different country, of travel, of leaving the motherland. Pardon me? Yeah, 7th Lord. He is with the 7th Lord and of long travel, and he is in the 12th house of displacement. And Rahu, how is Rahu? Well, he is with Venus. He is with the 9th Lord, and he is Karaka. So Karaka of foreign travel and the Lord of the house of foreign travel are together. So one of the Venus and Rahu have the potential to give the result. Right? As a matter of fact, given the event, this Lagna makes more sense than 4th summit. Taurus. So let's say this is accurate. The time is not forward by more than 1 minute 43 seconds. Okay, so we are happy with this. Now, what about the other one? Other event, when he again came, this time for longer. 2007 September 22. 2007, so that was Ketu Dasha. September 22. So Ketu. September 22 would be Saturn, but you can never be sure. It should be up for grabs. So basically Ketu, as soon as Ketu Dasha started, Ketu brought him abroad. Does it make sense? For me? Argala, who has Argala on 12th house in the... Oh yeah, very good. In D4. In D4 he has Argala on the 4th house. Only Argala on the 4th house? Argala on the 12th house. Does he have Argala in another house of interest? Are you missing any other Argala? What are the houses apart from 12th? For going to a faraway country to prosper there, to stay there for a while. What is the other important house? 9th. 7th house also shows travel, but it may or may not be settling down somewhere. 12th house also shows displacement, but if you want to prosper in a foreign land, settle there for a long time, 9th house is important. So does Ketu have Argala on the 9th house? He is in the 11th. If you take the 9th house, Ketu is in the 11th house from it. But Rahu and Ketu we count in reverse to reckon the Argala. So Ketu is in the 11th house from, he has 11th house Argala on the 9th house, and he has 2nd house Argala on 12th house. Right? So he has Argala on 2 key houses. And not only that, he has aspect on, just like Rahu basically, he has aspect on Venus, the 9th Lord. And of course, Ketu tends to give some of Rahu's result. Basically, there is some give and take between Rahu and Ketu. And Karakas, who are the Karakas for foreign residents? Rahu and Ketu. They are the Karakas. So he is one of the Karakas, and he is basically aspecting 9th Lord, and he has Argala on the 7th Lord also, 7th Lord Sun, he has Argala on him also. So because of all these, he has Argala on the 12th Lord also, 12th Lord Saturn. He has Argala on 12th Lord Saturn, Argala on 12th house, Argala on 9th house, aspect on 9th Lord. So he is connecting lot of dots. So once Vedas started, coming abroad is not really impossible. It is actually quite a possible result. For me? Yeah? 6th house, yeah, right. It is in the 6th house. Right, but that can show disturbance in the house, not having a stable house, etc. during the Kedasha. But it's not necessarily being abroad, right? Being abroad is for the other reasons. And right, but that's a good point. Anything else? So the thing is, so far, based on the events we have seen, do you say that Vimsotri is not working? Seems to be working reasonably well. Now let us see the other events. Now we looked at Chaturthamsa event. Let us look at D24 event. Actually D24 is delicate. Let's look at D10 because D24 needs rectification, may need rectification. Let us look at D10. Are we on a border? Not really. We should be in the middle of a Dashamsa almost. So we have 4.5 minutes backward and 8 minutes forward leeway. That should be sufficient, especially if somebody noted down the time. Let us say it's not more than, not wrong by more than 4.5 minutes. It may be, but being wrong more than 8 minutes, that too in the forward direction, is unlikely. So we can consider the previous sign, but we'll consider it to be safe. Mostly the Lagna is accurate. So Pisces is the Lagna. Mostly it is right. If not, this could be Aquarius, but not anything else. So these are the possibilities, right? So now we have our task is to verify the Vimsotri Dasha along with rectifying the Dashamsa. So we have two tasks. Now, for me? Not only second house is Mars, but second Lord Mars exalted, while the 10th Lord Jupiter, where is Jupiter? He is in the 9th house, he is strong. 10th Lord Jupiter in the 9th house is strong, and the 6th Lord Sun is in the 10th house, he is also strong, but 2nd Lord Mars is really strong, being exalted, and he is giving a Raj Yoga. The 7th Lord Mercury and 9th Lord Mars are together. 9th Lord Mars and Ketu, they are together, and he is giving a Raj Yoga. And also Mars happens to be the dispositor of 10th Lord. Apart from being the 2nd Lord, he is the dispositor of the 10th Lord. So he has influence on the 10th house also. Now anyway, so Mars being strong could show mechanical engineering career. And actually, do you want to see the Amsha rulers? Okay. So a lot of planets in Ananta Amsha, which is actually good for spiritual career. And that the 10th Lord Mars is actually in the 9th house. Sorry, 10th Lord Jupiter is in the 9th house of Dharma, and the planet is Jupiter. So there is all those influences are really strong. But the interesting thing is this Mars whose the 2nd Lord exalted is with Ketu, and Ketu is in Agni Amsha. Ketu is a planet of engineering, etc. Rahu and Ketu can show engineering, and he is basically in Agni Amsha. So there is some Agni influence on that Mars. So this could be an engineer. So the thing is, Pisces Lagna could explain a mechanical engineer for the reasons we have already said. 2nd Lord Mars. Now, let us see the Dasha when his career started. 2004 he started working. 2003 November was when the offer came. Yes. Mercury Jupiter is when he got the offer and he started working. 2004 when? Oh, 2004 later. Okay. So he started working in Mercury Saturn, but he actually got the job offer in Mercury Jupiter. Does it make sense? Could Mercury give a job offer? Yeah. Mercury is the lord of A5, of recognition of the abilities of the person, and he is also giving a Raj Yoga. He is in the 11th house of fulfillment of desires. He is aspecting the 5th house. He is with the 9th lord of Bhagya. Okay. Why Jupiter Antardasha gave the result? Well, he is Lagna Lord. He is Lagna Lord, he is 10th Lord. So he is, and also he is A9 Lord. A9 Lord in the 9th house. That is very interesting. Lord of A9, he shows fortune, a tangible fortune in the 9th house. So that shows basically his Antardasha can give A9 result. He is giving a result which will make him seem like lucky. Oh, he's a lucky guy. He's a fortunate guy. That kind of thing basically. That impression will be there in the people. And also he is in the 5th house from Arul Lagna. So it's a good Antardasha for getting a job offer. And he started actual work in Saturn Dasha. Saturn is in the 10th house. And he is the dispositor of 11th house. He is the 11th lord. 11th house is very strong, like we said. The second lord Mars exalted in the 11th house shows earnings. And the lord of that house, Saturn, in his Dasha, the actual earnings started. The 11th lord Dasha, the second lord dispositor Antardasha started the earnings. But then there was a break. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
So he wants to see why there was a break. When did you break? When was there a break? Oh, November 2004. When did you actually join the job?
March.
Oh, March. March meaning you were saying
March to
Jupiter itself. When we said Jupiter, you said no, next one Saturn.
I basically joined the job in 2004 March.
Right, I understand. So it was still Jupiter Antardasha only. Okay. The 10th Lord Antardasha itself actually gave the work also. The offer as well as the work. Okay. So when did you break? In November you stopped and you joined 2005 January another company. When you joined Infosys, was there a change of line or same line?
It was a change of line for me altogether.
Yeah.
I was a mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
First job I got it in TCS.
Yeah.
I was pushed into finance actually. I was in NSCS.
Okay.
You might consider it
Okay.
a very ephemeral period of time.
Okay.
So 5 months I worked for National Stocks and Securities and Depositories.
Okay.
Then I moved to Infosys.
Yeah.
I got it in
Okay. What did you do in Infosys?
order management and distribution, basically high-tech and manufacturing kind of
Okay.
industry.
Okay.
It was a distribution industry.
Okay.
Electronics.
Okay.
Distribution.
Okay. Okay. Good. So okay, let us see. Now, in the previous period, he gave some additional information in the Mercury Antardasha. He was actually doing some stock market kind of thing, some financial market kind of thing, and that is actually more in tune with the nature of Mercury. It was basically he was running Mercury Dasha and also Jupiter Antardasha. Both Mercury and Jupiter can show financial markets. So the thing is, in Mercury Jupiter, that is what he was doing. But as soon as Saturn came, there was a break. But it wasn't too long basically. He basically had a change of line. Once Saturn Antardasha started, he had a change of line. So if you look at the Pratyanta Dashas, actually Pratyanta Dasha also was Saturnist. So in Saturn Pratyanta Dasha, there was a big change. Does it make sense that Saturn would give a break? Is Saturn a benefic planet or malefic planet for this? He is a functional malefic for this. And he is in the 10th house. So he can give some instability. Moreover, more importantly, for somebody to discontinue some job and join another job, there has to be something. Because Saturn is the planet of service. Why did he give a break in service? If you look at the 6th Lord, 6th house is the house of service. So if you look at the 6th Lord, he is afflicted by Saturn. So because he is with enemy sun, he can give some political trouble. He can also give break of service. He can give a change in service. He can give some trouble in service also. He can give, in general, he can give some troubles with bosses also, because Sun is the karka for bosses. He has to be careful with that. Now, so if you actually go further, if you actually, Chandra is how we can't be sure, let's forget it. Right. The thing is, if we want to, if we have accurate time, we can look at Sukshmata Dasha, but let's not do it. Let's just go to Pratyanta Dasha. Saturn as a planet, as there is a Sun-Saturn combination in the 10th house, as he is a functional male, he can give some stability in the career, but at the end of it, he is the dispositor of very powerful Rajoga between 9th Lord and 7th Lord. Mars and Mercury Rajoga, and the two exalted 2nd Lord of and he is 11th Lord of gains, of profits. Because of that, Saturn cannot really give big suffering. But being with Sun, he can give some stability. So he gave some stability, he gave a change of line. Why did he give a change of line? For a change of line, there has to be influence on Lagna, right? Lagna shows new beginning. Does Saturn have an influence on Lagna? Yeah, he has aspect on Lagna. He has aspect on Lagna and he has Argala on Lagna Lord. So he can give a change of line. But there was another change of line, not change of line, change of job. He left his job in 2007 September and came to US in 2007. Now does it make sense? Based on Vinchotri. What is the Antardasha? 2007 when? September, right? So that was the end of So Mercury ended then. Mercury Dasha ended and Ketu Dasha started. And when the Ketu Dasha started, he had a change of job. Does it make any sense?
Change of job to travel abroad.
Yeah, change of travel to travel abroad. Does it make sense? Ketu can give travel abroad, that we have already seen. But can he give a, also Ketu is in the 11th house of gains. So he can give a change of job for more gains, more money, etc. Also being in the 11th house, he can give more money. Being the 9th Lord, he can give a fortune. 9th house is the house of fortune. And being the 9th Lord in the Dashamsa, he can show fortune in career. He can also show 9th house is abroad. So having a career abroad, that also can be shown by 9th Lord Ketu in the 11th house. But why did he give a new beginning in career? Again, for a planet to give a new beginning, I mean this may not be a new line you are doing here, but still you came to, pardon? It's a new beginning. Okay, so it is a new beginning. But what I was going to say is, even if it's not a new line, still going to a different country and working there, that will be a new beginning in career. So he made a new beginning, and he's saying that line also changed, apart from the country. Why? What does Ketu have to do with Lagna? Unless a planet has to do with Lagna, pardon?
So Ketu is dispositor of Lagna Lord.
Right. Ketu is the dispositor of Lagna Lord. Ketu owns the Lagna Lord. Lagna owns the sign occupied by Lagna Lord, and also he has Argala on Lagna Lord. Ketu has Argala on Lagna Lord. So he can basically give a new beginning which is conscious. Lagna shows a new beginning, Lagna Lord shows, that also can show a new beginning. The only difference is in the case of Lagna Lord, it is your intelligence being applied. So it may be a conscious new beginning. It may be something you work towards, you acted towards. So his influence on the, Ketu's influence on the Lagna Lord can give a new beginning.
Ketu is also in Agni
Right. He shows transformation, and also he shows engineering, etc. So what do you do now?
I'm inside life sciences.
Mhm.
I'm in the domain of life sciences,
Mhm.
healthcare actually.
Mhm.
And I have totally changed my line from Java J3 to TIPCO, enterprise.
So you are in software.
Yeah.
So Mercury and Ketu are the planets of computers and software, etc. So Ketu, that too Agni Amsha. Among all the planets in his chart, Rahu and Ketu are the only ones who are in Agni Amsha. So being in Agni Amsha, he basically created the change of life. So I mean, I don't really see any problem. So far, whatever we have seen makes decent sense. So you can use Vinchotri Dasha. There's no need to invent some other Dasha. That can definitely show, right? But the thing is this a good period or bad period? First of all, he's been having a lot of changes. His career is quite unstable. Lot of changes. But is there anything of concern, or do you think this is basically fine? This Dasha is fine. This Dasha is basically fine. Venus, there are some concerns, but let's not go there. But Ketu should be fine. Ketu is the 9th lord and a very good benefic. Lagna lord's dispositor, and is a malefic in the 7th from Aruha Lagna. Are Rahu and Ketu in 7th from Aruha Lagna good or bad? We discussed long back. It's a Raj Yoga. So Ketu in the 7th from Aruha Lagna is excellent. In the 11th from Lagna, super. So from various angles, apart from being in the 11th house, he is the lord of 11. 11 is in the 9th house. Any Arudha in the 9th house is protected. So 11 is in 9th from Lagna, in the 5th from Aruha Lagna. So he is the lord of that Arudha, and he has Argala on that also. Ketu has Argala on 11. So for all these reasons, he gives all these reasons, he gives excellent results. He gives fortune, he gives good. Financially, this is a good period.
Do you seem to, can this be called as a Malika Yoga?
Grah Malika?
Is it? No.
Not really, I mean. There are only in the Rashi, right? In Dashansha also, either way, it's basically 4 signs.
Only 4. And
Ideally, 5 signs. 5 or more signs, that will be a Malika. This is a partial Malika, this is a small Malika. So this is not really Brahmana Yoga. But it is still powerful. It starts from the Lagna Lord and ends in the 5th Lord. It starts from the 10th Lord and ends in the 5th Lord. So it's a powerful combination, but it's not really complete. Any other questions you have? So you said, does Vinchotri make sense? You said basically Vinchotri doesn't make sense to me. Do you guys agree? So our answer is we disagree. Now, any other questions?
the 10th Lord being in 9th, and
Sure.
Jupiter.
Huh?
That aspect is not even, I mean, to be pretty much open, I would like to continue my going to PhD, but my parents and my family wouldn't, it's not a feasibility for me right now.
Hmm.
And so,
See, if we want to answer the possibility of further education, etc., we have to look at D24. So we haven't rectified. So I want to wrap up quickly. So we will take it easy. D24 we are not sure. It should be 1 minute 43 seconds left, let me say, but backward 3.5 minutes. So this may be right, but we don't know for sure. So let us take it easy on the education. But anything else on the areas we looked at before D10
you were mentioning something about the Guru Chandala area
in the Navamsa, right? Right.
that's the first thing that caught your eye.
Yeah, when I saw Jupiter and Rahu next to each other in the Navamsa, right?
I would,
Say something on it.
yeah, I would want to, I
No, actually, no. The thing is, actually a very interesting combination, because all these planets who are in the 2nd house in the Navamsa, they are in the 12th from Atmakarka. The Atmakarka is Mercury, without a question. So, Atmakarka is Mercury. So, from Atmakarka in the Navamsa, Jupiter, Sun, Saturn, Rahu, Venus. How many planets? 5, I think. I count 5. For me? Who will be the Devata? There are so many. So,
pick and choose.
you can pick and choose, right? But the thing is, there will be one who will be really right. It's not like what is the real concept of Devata. You have actually done a lot of sadhana of one deity in the past. So if you basically do the same thing again, you will make progress fast. That's the concept of Devata. It's not just you can pick and choose. he has already done, maybe he has done several, but the thing is there will be one with which he made the most progress. So that will be Ishtadevata. Unfortunately, the level of astrology we know doesn't let us know it for sure. Like I argued with Sanjay ji once, if you take giants like Aurobindo or say Ramakrishna Paramahansa, several people, you take them, you apply the principles as you know, you would have made a bad suggestion. Of course, Sanjay ji is very stubborn. He says, no. Ishtadevata is not Kali, it is Rama, it is this, it is that. He basically stubbornly argues. Bottom line is, and he says, the idol he worshipped at the Dakshineshwar is not Kali, actually Bhautarani, it is Tara, so Jupiter is the Ishtadevata. Like that he basically argues. Bottom line is, what that idol was called by somebody 100 years or 1000 years back is irrelevant. He basically saw Kali in that idol. He actually really saw Kali in that idol. And he progressed through Kali. And Kali is the one who took him to various places, who showed him various devatas, who told him what he is going to do, what his Shishyas will do. Everything basically was revealed through Kali to him. So if anybody suggests, any astrologer, even the greatest astrologer in the world ever, comes and suggests, oh, Ramakrishna Paramahansa Ishtadevata is not Kali, it is somebody else, I will just laugh at them, because it is a matter of it is a matter of Ramakrishna and his Ishtadevata. It is well documented by all his Shishyas who were great saints who experienced so much. So to suggest otherwise is foolish. So that clearly proves to me that the concept of Ishtadevata as we understand is not really perfect. It's not foolproof. And if you actually look at what Parashara said, he didn't say the Devata who gives you moksha, who takes you towards moksha, who enables the maximum progress for you, is seen like this. No. What he said is, if Ketu is in the 12th from Atmakarka and Navamsa, the person will become spiritual and will progress towards moksha. And depending on which other planet is with Ketu, he said through the sadhana of this Devata. It was a very specific result he gave. We are actually generalizing it very heavily to come up with this concept of Ishtadevata. So there is a lot to negotiate here. And moreover, the very definition of Atmakarka is up for grabs. Like, probably not Atmakarka, but other Charkarkas. Is the definition of Charkarkas given by Sanjay ji is not perfect. And the definition of Charkarkas given by K.N. Rao is not perfect. The real teaching of Parashara is neither. It is actually different from the teaching of both these scholars, K.N. Rao and Pandit Sanjay Rath. The bottom line is, when it comes to Charkarkas, what we know, there is this concept of Charkarka replacement. Again, what happens if Atmakarka is replaced, the so-called replaced by another planet, how should you find Ishtadevata? All these things are there. Actually, is there a concept of replacement, or does it mean you actually do all that in the calculation itself? If you read Parashara, what Parashara wrote on Charkarka, we will come to that later when we do PPHS more. We will hopefully come to Charkarka chapter. But Charkarka, what Parashara taught and what anybody taught today is completely different. So, we are actually groping in the dark. But let us use, that is why I use the word. In this case, I was looking and I was saying, yes, Buddha is the Atmakarka definitely in this case. So, there are various controversies, but this is above controversy. Here, Mercury is the Atmakarka. But the controversy is 12th house at every planet. There are 5 planets in the 12th house. So, the thing is, at the end of it, you should remember, you know some rules, you are trained to think, you basically program the neural networks of your brain to think in a particular way, but at the end of it, it is somebody guiding some person through you. You are a mere pawn, you are a mere instrument. So if that guidance, and all these are tools, all these formulas, all these techniques, they basically are part of the game. They are not really foolproof, they are not perfect, but they are part of the game. You learn them, and then you practice them, and then you submit to the force that is guiding you, and if you are destined to guide somebody, you end up guiding that person. So, at the end of it, all the rules are just rules. At the end of it, it is your intuition. And whether you are meant to guide a person or not, it's a combination of those. So here, if I were to pick the Ishtadevata, if you look at this combination, if I judge from the Lagna first, to see the dharma of this person, The Lagna Lord is Venus and the Yokarka is Saturn. Saturn is a Yokarka, right? And Sun actually is a Badhaka Lord, right? Now, if I ignore Lagna, if I take the Atmakarka himself as Lagna, basically Karakamsha, if I take Karakamsha as Lagna, Karakasamsha as Lagna, from there, the Lagna Lord Jupiter is in the 12th house. The third Lord Rahu is in the 12th house. Venus is also in the 12th house, but he is the 6th and 11th Lord. He is not really that key. Sun is the 9th Lord. 9th shows the Dharma. So he is the Dharma Lord. And Saturn. Saturn is the 2nd and 3rd Lord. Out of these, the two which are interesting are Sun and Jupiter. Sun is the 9th Lord who is in the 12th house, and Jupiter is Lagna Lord as well as 4th Lord of direction who is in the 12th house. Because 4th is the seed of 12th house. It is the seed of Moksha Trikona. So I will pick one of the two, Jupiter and Sun. That is what I will pick. Sorry? So either way it seems to show Shiva. So I will suggest worship of Shiva. And then if you look at the D20, if you look at the D20 chart, in this chart Venus is I think this should be, yeah, this is based on the windows we found earlier, this is there. So here Jupiter is in the 8th house in this particular chart. And Sun, the 7th Lord, is in the 7th house, showing a strong here. Okay. So both Sun and Jupiter are interesting planets in this chart also. So combining this with Navamsha, I will suggest Sadashiva. That will be actually Sadashiva or Samudra Shiva. Sun and Jupiter show Shiva, but they are with Rahu. Sun and Jupiter are with Rahu, right? So Rahu and also Saturn, Venus. So there are some male fixed planets also. Saturn and Rahu are there, especially Rahu. So it can be a slightly fierce form of Shiva also. Sun with Rahu is like king and the priest, or with a villain. So will they be peaceful or will they be fighting? Will they be agitated? Even Jupiter will be a little agitated, and definitely Sun will be agitated, because he needs to protect himself, his kingdom and his guru. So this is a case where Sun and Jupiter are a bit agitated to fight Rahu, but they may have the wherewithal to fight Rahu. So this is a slightly fierce form of Shiva actually, not Sadashiva. For example, try Rudra Namakam, those things basically, some mantras of Rudra. That is what I would say. Excellent, perfect. That is a perfect form. Virabhadra, Saturn Rahu with Sun can show Virabhadra. So Virabhadra is perfectly fine. It's of Rudra. Yes. Virabhadra. Even somebody like Saturn Rahu combination with Sun, even Kalabhairava is perfectly fine. Kalabhairava, Mahakala, Kaleshwara, Virabhadra. I will suggest, because the sign involved is Scorpio and the planets involved are Saturn and Rahu who are affecting Jupiter and Sun, I will say instead of Shiva, a more fierce and more tamasic, more negative form of Shiva who is capable of fighting tamas with tamas. So Virabhadra is perfect. If you can be initiated into some Virabhadra mantra by your grandfather, you can actually do some sadhana. So the thing is that actually Dasha is also good. Ket Dasha is running. It is the opposite of all these planets in Navamsha. In general, he is Karaka for spirituality. He is in Mantrasthana in Lati. So not a bad idea to actually get some mantra and do some sadhana. Anyway, good luck. So with that we will end for today. With any other questions we will take up in the next class.